If you've ever wondered how other Amazon sellers always seem to find the good ASINs first, tonight we're doing a little bit of tactical arbitrage storefront stalking. This is TA After Dark. As a quick disclosure, this video is made in collaboration with Seller 365, but everything you see here is my actual workflow, and these are the tools that I use every single day. And now let's jump into tactical arbitrage and do some storefront stalking. Starting on the home page of tactical arbitrage, right now we are on the TA Lite. So there's TA Classic and TA Lite. This is TA Lite. And we are going to go to reverse search. So we're going to click on reverse search right here. And then you are going to click on find products right here. So this is how we're going to start a search, and we're going to reverse search a seller ID. There's three ways to search. There's efficient, which is, if you hover over that, it's online and offline. It basically searches the tactical arbitrage cache and live results. A matching system is normal matching, and the match quality is great. Then you also have online. This is a much longer, more live data pulled live, so it takes a long time for the system to go pull all the information on every single ASIN from all the websites across tactical arbitrage. Or you can do custom. Custom is my favorite. We're going to click change, and I'm going to say I want results online and offline, and I'm going to have up to 10 days. These results might not be the most up to date, but they will find you the products a lot faster. You can also do online only, or you can go and do 1 day or 2 days. That's going to be a little slower but more updated information. If I'm not looking for anything specific, I want to catch everything I can, I'm going to go 10 days. It's faster, and it might not catch the price right now, but you can always go update it, and I'll show you how to do that. For matching, I'm not going to go to normal matching. I'm going to do AI smart matching. If you are discouraged by mismatches, I like them. But if you're discouraged by them or irritated by mismatches, you could try AI Smart Matching. It checks more things, and it's a little bit more picky. And then you have the match quality. I like adventurous, but that can be frustrating because you look through things that might not be the best matches. Great is also fantastic, and then you have excellent. I wouldn't do excellent. It's looking for absolute perfect match. The image has to be the same. If the image is taken from a different angle and looks slightly different, you might miss that product. So I would do great matching. And then I'm going to click use these settings. We are sourcing from US stores and looking up on products on Amazon US. We're going to click next. And here we have the different types of reverse sourcing. We have products where you can upload an entire list of ASINs. This is how you would do a Keepa export. This is where you upload right here a Keepa export. You can do sellers, which is what I'm going to show you today. You can search for Amazon sellers, or you can search a certain brand. And then you have Amazon for departments and pages. You can search best sellers, movers and shakers, and most wished for. I will do a different video for this because it can be, there's a little bit of explaining to do. So today we're going to look at sellers. So for sellers, what you do is you enter the seller ID right here in this section. The seller ID, if you don't know how to find it, I pulled up a seller right here. I pulled up Staples. The seller ID is in the URL link. You're just going to double click it, Control C to copy, go back to Tactical Arbitrage, Control V to paste, and there it is. How else can we get seller IDs? How do we get to the seller ID page? On any listing, you click on other sellers on Amazon. You can click right here. You can click on that seller. We find a seller and we open in a new tab. From here, you just double click the seller equals or me equals, and then that is the one that you put right here in the seller ID field. How else can we get seller IDs? One of the ways to do it is from a Keepa search. Let's take a look at the seller. If you click their name right here, you will have this seller storefront open up. And the easy thing to do is just click their seller ID and paste it right in there, right? And then we can source it. Something else that you can do is if you click directly on the name, it will open this seller in Keepa. and it will open the seller overview page where, again, you can take the seller ID from there. It also shows the overlapping competitors. So you can copy this code from here. You just right click and copy and then paste it in here. So now that we know a multitude of ways to grab those seller IDs, let's actually look through them. In here, we have sellers, Amazon sellers, add the seller ID. Underneath, we have filters. So we're going to go to all. I like to see all the filters. Profit and ROI, you can click this on and it will only show profitable products. If you click customize, it will show you what the filters, the overall filters are set up as. I like to run this. This is set up at 0.1 ROI, so that is break even, right? I like to run it at break even because it is searching all of these websites. So a lot of these websites, you'll be able to get some kind of discount. Maybe there's a sale going on that you don't know about. Maybe you find a really nice discounted gift card. There could be coupon codes if you run your coupon code extensions. There's a variety of ways to reduce the cost. So if we run it at break even, you will still find those things like at Target. I know I can get 5% discount if I use my Target card, right? So things like that. So if you run it at 20% ROI, you're going to miss out products that on the website that it finds it at, you'll get a 20% discount, right? Maybe there's a coupon code, maybe there's a sale with a code. So in that case, it's not going to catch it if you're going for a really high ROI right here. Scrolling down, you can also change the profit and ROI based on Amazon buy box price or average 30-day price or 90-day price. At this moment in time, this is beginning of January, I would keep it on Amazon buy box price. Average price 30 days and 90 days, you are going up against Q4 pricing. And this is when things are starting to tank like this time of year. So I would do it on Amazon current buy box price. Then we're going to go shipment and costs, FBA, adjust shipment costs if you need to change your inbound. I keep mine at 1, even though I usually pay less than 1. Scrolling down some more, let's look at these filters and talk about them for a little bit. Hide Amazon products based on their ranking. So this one you can turn on. And right now we're sourcing a seller. It's just a seller. So I don't know how good this guy is. I don't know if he's selling slow products. Maybe they're like, I don't know what they're doing, right? So we can do something like I want to hide ranks over the top 2% of the category. So we can do that. Or you can click customize and see what that looks like. If we go to 1%, generally these are going to be things moving very well, right? So 1% might be a little strict. Maybe we can go to 2%. Again, you need to look at the product. So let's look at 2%. We can do current rank, not average 30 and 90 because, again, it was peak Q4, right? We can hide products based on their estimated sales. If you turn that on, I would not go more than 3. I myself leave this blank because I want to catch things with no sales rank. If they don't have a sales rank, generally they're not going to have an estimated sales. So I want to look at more products rather than less products. But if you are newer at Tactical Arbitrage, I would do an estimated sales of 3. Hide hazmat products. You can hide hazmat if you cannot do hazmat FBA, but you can still do hazmat FBM. So if you're willing to do that, there is money in hazmat products. Hide sold by Amazon. Again, it's up to you. I don't mind going up against Amazon as long as they have a history of steady price. Hide oversized products. I'm not hiding oversized products, and I will show you why on the results side. Oversized does not mean refrigerators. Oversized can mean something as small as a larger toy. And by larger toy, I don't mean a trampoline. I mean like a Lego. There's small oversized, medium oversized, large oversized, and special oversized. However, I'll show you how to filter those on the back end. We can hide products with too few or too many sellers. You can do this. This will hide any products that could be private label. You can change that to maybe 2 or leave it at 3. I don't do it because how else am I going to find stuff that's sold out or maybe or just went out of stock? Sold products without category information, I wouldn't turn that on. I find really good stuff in there. High products based on Amazon price, I wouldn't deal with that either. Leave it alone. Hide products under a certain rating. I also don't do that. You can turn it on and do products that have less than 3-star rating. If Amazon has been in stock for a time period, if you are worried about Amazon, I would do something like, I wish they added 30, 60, 180 days here. A Classic has a better time frame, but in this case, I would say I want to filter if Amazon has been in stock maybe 70% of the time in the last 30 days. Maybe you can go as low as 50. Hide based on number of reviews. No. Hide if there's no weight or size. No, that's easy to solve. Hide if buy box is suppressed. No. A buy box suppressed means that Amazon deems the price to be too high and it's not showing the actual price and the add to cart button to customers. And that can be because the price is much higher than the average price in the recent past on Amazon, or it can be because Amazon sees that the price is much higher than its competitors. So if on Amazon the sellers are $70 plus and Macy's is selling it for $32, Amazon is going to hide the price because Macy's is selling it so much lower. And oftentimes, a buy box suppressed is the first sign that an item is very possibly profitable because you know that you can buy it cheaper somewhere else. For that reason, I am going to always look at buy box suppressed items. Buy box suppression is oftentimes the first sign that a product is profitable. Hide products gated for my account. That is depends. If you're trying to just do some quick sourcing, you can hide it. I don't hide it because how else am I gonna know what to get ungated in, right? Sometimes it's a click away. You click to apply and you're auto ungated. So if you keep seeing the same brand over and over and those products would make a profit if you could sell them, that would be at the very top of my get ungated list. Hide products with IP alert, I wouldn't do that. There's many things that have IP alerts, but maybe they're 3-4 years old. Maybe something happened. Maybe something was wrong with a listing and maybe it's been fixed since. Sometimes these things are very listing dependent at times. Not all IP alerts are the same, so I actually don't hide anything with IP alert. Hide product based on the number of variations, I wouldn't do that. If you don't know how to read variations the old school way, that is okay because you guys that are newer in the game have the luxury of having that yellow monthly sold line on Keepa that's provided by Amazon. That is hard data from Amazon. If it says that it's selling 50 times a month, it's selling 50 times a month. So I would not hide variations because you can easily tell if they're selling by that line. Only show when buy box price is certain amount higher than the store price. I would absolutely not do this. Things are different by cost. If it's a $3 item, you need it to sell 3 times more in order to make a profit. But it's a $30 item, you're not going to sell it for a price that's 3 times higher. So don't do this. Hide based on minimum rank drops in the last 30 days. Rank drops don't mean sales. Don't do this. Store filters. Hide out of stock products. So in this reverse search, what happens? Tactical Arbitrage is searching all the websites across Tactical Arbitrage. There's hundreds of them, right? So it's going to match one ASIN to a multitude of websites. It's going to find it at all the suppliers that provide it online. So you can hide some that are out of stock and the ones that are in stock will show up, or you can leave it alone and see the ones that are also out of stock, but maybe the website allows you to set an alert for when it's coming back in stock. Maybe it's out of stock online, but maybe you have the option to pick it up in store somewhere nearby. So it depends on how much work you are willing to do. The more you're willing to do, the more successful you will be because you will find stuff that others don't simply because they take the easy way. Hide third-party sellers. This is always going to have to be turned on. You have to have this turned on. This is such a requirement because you don't want to buy from me at Walmart. You want to buy from Walmart alone on Walmart. Set rules based on store price. This is avoid products that are too cheap. Wouldn't do that. Hide products based on title keywords. No. Hide product based on seller IDs. For example, let's say maybe Zappos. If this seller right here shared a lot of listings with Zappos. You could take that ID and put it in here, so you don't have to compete against things like Zappos or some other extremely large sellers. So if there's someone that you want to avoid, you can enter it right here. You can also hide products from certain brands. If you have any brands blacklisted on the back end of TA, like I showed you in a previous video, in the settings video, I'm actually going to link it right here. If you have those brands blacklisted, that's already covered. Or you can turn this on and you can start adding them in here. And then to expand the search at the very bottom, I like to add products that are similar to my results. It just finds me some additional matches there. Sometimes they're slightly off, or sometimes they're the same thing but under the wrong UPC. I always turn this on because, again, I like to see more things rather than less. Include products with no source website offers. This says that you also want to see the Amazon ASINs that it couldn't find a match on any website for. I would not do this for a shot in the dark, such as reverse sourcing a seller, or, well, maybe you would, because you can source it, you can search for it manually and maybe find it somewhere. So it's up to you how much work you want to do. And then here we're going to click Start Search at this point. And the other thing you can do is you can click Save Filters, and you can set these as basic storefront stalking, or you can do reverse storefront stalking so you know what you're talking about next time you look at it. So it tells us that the current filter has been successfully saved, and that is it. To do a quick run through these filters, click on Sellers, Amazon Sellers, add the seller ID, Profit and ROI, turn that on to only show the profitable products that are really breaking even, or you can change that to whatever number you want. Just remember to keep it low in case there's hidden discounts and coupon codes. Fulfillment method FBA, you don't have to turn that on. That can be your global settings, your global inbound shipping. Hide Amazon products based on the ranking. I want to only see the faster selling products. Hide if estimated sales are less than 3. We are also hiding if Amazon has been in stock for more than 70% of the last 30 days. Keep in mind, I do not do this personally. I leave that turned off. And then at the very bottom, I have hide third-party sellers. This is the most important thing that you can do right here. This has to be turned on. Do not forget it. Or you will end up buying from a third-party seller, and then it can lead to massive trouble. And then at the very bottom, I also add Amazon products that are similar. So it might lead to some slightly imperfect matches, but it will give me more products. It will find me more products that others might not be finding. And at this point, we're going to click Start Search. When we start search, this is the screen that will tell you the search is in progress. You can have it email you when it's done, or you can just go to results. You can keep this current setup. It will keep the same filters, and at this point you can go in and paste a different seller ID, and you can start several searches like that, one after the other. And after they run for a little bit, you can go look at results. So let's go see what results we have from this search. So this is now the next day. Let's look through some search results. So at the very top, we have the filters, and these are the filters that were selected by us when we first started the search, right? When we went through the previous process. At this point, you can see that all results, I have 265 total results showing out of 728. So there are almost 500 results that are hidden due to the filters that we have. So the filters could be maybe the ROI is less than break even, or maybe they have less estimated sales. But if we X out of any of these filters, the number of results will increase, but they will also not be the things that we wanted to look at. So let's take a look at these filters. You can X out of here. You can actually click them and open the column header filter, or you can click on these filters right here to further filter or maybe remove some things or make adjustments. So at this point, I still have the profit and ROI as break even 0.1%. The profit and ROI are based on Amazon buy box price. Websites, the results are from 35 different websites. There are 82 brands that were captured. Amazon categories, we have all of these categories. So remember, we are reverse sourcing some other sellers. I don't know what that seller is selling, but of the categories that maybe I'm interested in, I would say, let's say I want to see automotive, electronics. I do not want to see grocery, maybe. I want to see household, home and kitchen, office, patio, sport. Let's say I want to see everything but grocery. So now we can filter them this way, and the results are reduced to 263. So there are a few grocery and gourmet food items that are no longer going to show in the results. Amazon filters, we have estimated sales per month, at least 3. Buy box owner, doesn't matter. Hazmat, you can say show or filter. If you leave it alone, it will show everything. We can say they are currently sold by Amazon or not sold by Amazon, if the listing is in stock or out of stock on Amazon. And then we have the product size. This is the main reason why I was telling you not to filter out oversized things, because you have small standard size, large standard, small oversized, medium oversized. So you want to see those, but we don't want to see the large oversized, maybe even medium oversized. Sometimes it could be maybe some larger drapes or duvets or things like that that are indeed a bit larger. So you can just do this, for example. Number of sellers, we have 3 sellers minimum. Seller rank is going to be in the top 2% of its rank. No actual sales rank in here, but we can also do the 90-day sales rank or 30-day. You can set minimums and maximums. The more you filter, the less products you'll see, but you might filter out something that could be your next bestseller. So I would strongly urge you to not filter yourselves out of product. Amazon price doesn't matter. Amazon rating, you can say that you want 2 and up, 3 and up. 30-day in stock window, according to our filters, set up initially 70%. And you can go through here and see gated status. Maybe you want to see gated or not gated. Maybe you want to start with what's not gated and do some quick shopping. And then you can always go back to the gated and see if you can get ungated. That is what I usually do. And then IP alert, number of variations, store filters. Here's where you can do in stock, out of stock, or unknown. I'm going to leave it alone because a lot of these results that I have in here are a little bit older. So the status currently is unknown because they haven't been updated. Some of them I've had in here for about 2 weeks, if not longer. So I would leave this alone for now. And then third-party seller is very important to only show sold by store. So this tells you right here, only purchase from store directly. This is for Walmart, Walgreens, and Target. And now we're just going to click show results. Let's look through some of these results real quick to see. As I said, the stock level is unknown. You can always click recheck. And when you click recheck, it's going to tell you that it's updating the data, and it may or may not show it after. But just because it's out of stock here doesn't mean that I don't want to see it. So at this point, I might still open the Amazon listing, and I'm going to go Google this product. Even though I think that was Target that was out of it, I'm still going to go Google it to see if I can find it somewhere else. I see it at Walmart. Ours is a what? Nintendo Switch. So I see it right here at Walmart, Nintendo Switch. I don't know if that is a third-party seller or if it's Walmart. I'm thinking it's probably a Walmart clearance. So as we can see, this is indeed Walmart clearance. It's on sale. Is it the same thing? Nintendo Switch Christmas Adventures. This is probably not going to be a bestseller in July, right? Actually, in July, it's probably going to start selling again. But I do think that this might actually sell pretty much year round. Let's see what Keepa says. So Keepa shows that in April, there were about 50 sellers on this listing, and it was still selling 204. Look at that. In April, it was selling 400 a month. So I think I'm actually going to go buy this myself, because look at that. This is December, November, October. But look at that. It was literally selling out over spring and summer. By the end of July, down to 19 sellers. And I don't see any massive price tanking. So even at the lowest selling price of last year, you would still make a profit. And now it is literally down to 13. This is a fantastic find. If you can sell it, absolutely. And it's low stock at Walmart. Oh gee, is that the same? Is it E? E? Yep, same thing. So to me, this is a winner right here. Obviously, I would normally dig into it a little bit more. I would definitely take a closer look before buying. Let's see this. This is Shields. There's Tony's, Miss Rachel. Tony's is selling this, so it's just a figurine. Let's see. As we can see, Shields is out of stock, but they have the product in stock notification. You enter your info right here and you'll get a notifications as soon as it's back in stock. Then see how this is a duplicate? It's the same ASIN, 24S, 24S, but it's the first one is a Shields, this one is a Target. This is what I was mentioning in when I said that you'll find multiple instances of the same ASIN from different suppliers, right? So even if this supplier is out, maybe this supplier is in, right? The last time I checked it, the buy box price was at $30.98 and Target had it at $19.99. Looks like Tony's is in stock on Amazon right now at $19.99. So this is one of those instances where you just have to watch it. And if we look at the buy box, see how the buy box is up and down, up and down? This is basically Tony's is probably the low price, and these are third-party sellers. See, it's jumping. When Tony's is in stock, it's at $19.99. When a third-party seller is in stock, it's at $37, $38, $39. So this could actually be a good ASIN. Is it slightly risky? Sure. We don't know how much stock Tony's has. Maybe they are in and out just because they just sent a shipment in and it's slowly arriving and being received at fulfillment centers. Could they be almost out? Could this be now discontinued? I doubt it, but it's a possibility, right? So this is a risk, but a lot of the people that are big in the game, this is what they do. This is, we're buying from Tony's at $19.99. We're waiting for Tony's to go out of stock a little bit. We're selling way up here. Do you run the risk of being stuck with a lot of product? Absolutely. Is it a risky move? Absolutely. Would I do this if I were brand new and I would put half the money I have to source into a product like this? No, that would not be wise. Next, we have some Nike socks, and this is where matches and mismatches come into play. A lot of people call this a mismatch. This is actually a perfect match. It's just different colors. So let's go look at this. So these are Nike socks at Kohl's. I think a lot of people cannot sell this anymore. But as you can see, this is a listing with variations. You have black socks, and I assume these are all the white, and oh, look at all the colors. Multiple sizes. So this is a beast of a listing, right? It has a lot of variations. Is this selling? Well, it looks like it's sold right there. If it might look pretty sharp, kind of like an IP thing, but it's really not. When you zoom in, you will see that people are actually selling out. So at this point, we can go into variations, which is going to be the topic of an entirely new video. There's also the variation viewer from ScoutX, where you can get quite a bit more information on these variations right here. We're also not going to cover this today. But what I would do here, I know I can get these socks for $20. I don't source Kohl's much, but I think I do remember Nate Jackson from Hustle Buddies mentioning one time that you cannot get coupons to apply to things like Nike. So we're just going to assume that that is the actual price. But then we have a buy one, get one 50% off. So this is a perfect example of why I am not entering some crazy ROI up here in the filters. If I enter an ROI of, let's say, 20% or 30% or anything like that, I would not have found these socks. The reason that I found the socks is because I ran this at break even. So right now the ROI is showing at 30%. However, at the time this was scanned, the store price was 16. So now if it's 20, I'm actually going to go, if I were scanning this fresh and the price was scanning as 20, the ROI is only 6%. Do you see what I'm saying? If it was scanning this today, it would scan it as store price of $20, which is what the store price is right there. And we would not have seen this. And what we would have missed is this right here, buy one, get one 50% off. So buy one, get one 50% off means that that is a 25% discount. So at this point, a listing that technically is at break even, it's actually going to make us a profit. Moving on to another product, let's see something else. This is at Best Buy and it's also at Target. Scrolling through results, you can see some of them have been in here for quite a while. Last updated 14 days ago, so I've had these for a while. However, as you scroll through these results, one of the things to look at is Amazon was in stock, then they ran out of stock, prices going up, right? You can always the leads right here one by one if you're looking to recheck a specific one, or you can scroll all the way to the top and you can click these dots right here and click recheck all. So as you click recheck all, it's going to start, see it's updating them one by one. So it's rechecking all the products, and as they are updated, they will show up right here. So this is something that I do a lot because I will run searches and then I will walk away and completely forget about it. And then I will only look at them again when I'm hitting my limit of 75,000 items. And then I have to go clean them up, do something else with them. Either buy them, delete them, save them, rerun them in a new search. You store a lot of stuff in your searches, or you have searches that you ran previously and you have not yet looked at. This is a great way to update. They are going to show up as soon as they are done. They're going to pop right back in here. So this is an additional quick. So go ahead and try Storefront Stalking. I don't do much of this. I prefer to do things like Keepa exports, or I prefer to run bestsellers from Amazon, also from reverse search. But if Storefront Stalking is something that you're interested in doing, this is how you get it done. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Have a fantastic day Storefront Stalking.